Hello, my name is Tom Lenz, and I'm your instructor for Healthy Lifestyle Management, Foundations of Healthy Lifestyle Management, HLM 301. So I thought I'd give you a little introductory video to the course, some of the philosophies of the major and what we're going to be doing in the course, as well as a little bit of background about the health and wellness industry in general. So this supplements your information that you will be reading within the context of the course as you go through it. So what I'll be doing is every module I'll put a video out just to give you a little overview of some background information, and then that'll supplement some of the information that you'll be reading about and we're doing in the discussions and that type of thing. So today what I thought we would do, since it's Module 1 and it's really an introduction, is just to go over the course, a little bit of philosophy about it. So you'll see here, I know, by the way, the slides, I know they're difficult to read on the monitor here, and I have them for you on blue line so you can see them a little bit better and you can look at them up close there. But I thought I'd use a little prop here just so I have something to point to, I guess. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was the philosophy of the program in general. The philosophy for this program is a little bit different than maybe what you would expect, perhaps, but hopefully it's something that is in line with your philosophy also. So the course is called, the program is called Healthy Lifestyle Management. This, of course, is a foundational course to that, to lay a lot of the groundwork for what is important for you to be able to work in this health and wellness environment. So what this program trains you to do is to work in the wellness, health and wellness field somewhere. That's a very broad definition. There's a lot of possibilities for that. Some of those of which we're going to talk about today, but and we'll do that throughout the course and of course throughout the program. But what makes this a little bit different is, of course, so it says healthy lifestyle management, but that doesn't say the whole, it doesn't give you all the information about what is important for this. Of course, healthy lifestyles are important. And what you will learn as we go through this course is how a healthy lifestyle fits into the broader picture of what well-being actually means, or whole person health means. And so in a couple modules we'll talk about what actually determines health for an individual or a population, and that helps frame up or shape up what we're doing for this course and this program. So a key piece to this, if you are interested in working in the health and wellness field as perhaps in in a community wellness environment, in an employee wellness environment, perhaps as a health coach, health and wellness coach, are a couple of these concepts that I've got listed up here. The first one is on self-awareness. Okay, so it may not make sense, and this is maybe the part that differentiates this. Okay, so what is important for this program is that we grow as individuals ourselves at the same time we're learning what the knowledge and skills are to be working in the health and wellness field. And part of that is our own self-awareness. So we'll be doing a couple of activities, especially through the first couple modules, and then actually the thread of readings that you'll have throughout the entire course is really geared towards your self-awareness, and hopefully the next point here on reflection and self-reflection. So the idea behind this is, when we're working with another individual to help them achieve the greatest health that they can possibly achieve, it's important for us to know ourselves in a way that we don't bias the other individual. By that I mean sometimes we have our own personal biases towards some things that are, say, a healthy lifestyle activity like eating broccoli. I mean, just an example. Okay, so if we don't like eating broccoli, sometimes that may come across, and another individual might be good for them to eat more broccoli, for instance. Kind of a bad example, but fruits and vegetables in a larger realm might be another better example, or maybe there's some types of physical activity that we really feel strongly against, but maybe it's the best thing for the other individual. It's best for us to know ourselves and our own biases, our own issues, so that we can be best at helping another individual. As I like to say it, we got to be good here so that we can be good out there. And that's where the self-awareness part comes in. This ties directly into reflection, and it's one of those things that's consistent with Ignatian pedagogy or with Jesuit education, other institutions like Creighton. This is a core value, and that we have put that heavily into this program also because this is so consistent with those same values, and that developing what we call habitual reflection, which I'm not really sure I like that word. This sounds weird, but getting into the habit of reflecting about many different things, and so that'll come out in more detail as we go through the course and through the program. But certainly we'll start that here in this course, and there's reflection papers that you'll write, and hopefully get into that habit of reflection. The other part about this that I think is critical to explain is about well-being. Okay, so we talk about wellness. One of the things we're going to do in this course is look at the differences between wellness and well-being. This course is really about well-being. This program is really about well-being. And that is in a broader context of what we're used to talking about when we think of healthy lifestyles or we think of wellness. So healthy lifestyles, exercise, nutrition, sleep, for instance, those are good examples of healthy lifestyle behaviors. That feeds into the broader context of what wellness is, and wellness then generally incorporates things like stress management and getting into a little bit broader of a definition. But well-being is even broader than that, and that's where we want to be. We want to incorporate what we think about as in being the whole person, and looking at whole person health. We'll define that in a few modules when we look at these in specifics, but the whole of the individual and who that individual is, not just what they're doing, but who they are and what is best for them, and looking at their quality of life and their well-being in the sense of what well-being is what we're concerned about. And so, of course, one of the required textbooks is on well-being, so that you get a baseline of that. And then, of course, the other textbook is on emotional intelligence, and that's where the self-awareness part comes in. So we're hitting both of those pretty hard this first course to lay a foundation for the program. The last point I wanted to mention about philosophy is about cura personalis. And if you're familiar with Jesuit pedagogy, this word, this Latin word meaning care for the person or personal care, comes up a great deal. And this is where this program was built upon this specific Jesuit ideal that St. Ignatius talked about. And it's more than just saying what services does this individual need in order for them to be healthy. Well, they would need a dietitian, and maybe they need, of course, maybe a primary care provider, depending on what their issues are. Maybe they need a cardiologist, and just trying to wrap around the health services that we have. It's not that. It's much more than that. Who is this individual that we're trying to help? What are their personal needs? And this is the point that we're getting at with this program. Understanding them and treating them as in the whole of their individual. That would include their spiritual needs, financial, legal, everything that makes up an individual and that affects their health, and that's what we're hoping to go after for this. So we don't just treat an individual and say, okay, you have diabetes and you're overweight, and so you need to exercise and eat more fruits and vegetables and less calories and go have at it. That's not what we're about. And it is partly what we're about, for sure, but it's about this connection that we can make with each individual as a person and who they are. That's personal care. and cura personalis, and that's what we're actually getting at. By the end of your entire program, hopefully that will be something that will be core to your beliefs and essential for you as you work with people to help them to create health within them. So here are the objectives of the course, and I took those straight from the syllabus. So you can look in the syllabus, you can read these too as they're listed here. But certainly the first one on here is about social justice and the Ignatian values, cura personalis, habitual reflection, as it all relates to healthy lifestyles. Something that's incredibly important for us, aside, as another Ignatian value, is this social justice issue and how it relates to healthy lifestyle behaviors. Sometimes we think of social justice as just being people who don't have enough of housing or finances, or maybe injustices that happen because of race, creed, color, religious, sexual orientation, whatever. There are a lot of social justice issues that pertain to healthy lifestyles also, and we're going to talk about those as we go through. The importance of teamwork is critical here also, and how you as a health and wellness specialist fit into the larger scope of the healthcare team. Written and verbal communication are important for the program, and we're going to do a fair amount of writing with this course. Not difficult, not lengthy stuff, but there's a bit of writing to get that part started. Creativity and critical thinking as they relate to the determinants of health. Summarizing whole person health and well-being, of course, as we just talked about. And then demonstrating an increased awareness of self and the value of self-care. And so we'll be defining self-care later on in the course and talking about that more in specifics. Okay, so a little bit about the wellness industry as we wrap up this little introductory video here. This is what you're launching yourself into if you're not already in it already. I put a link up here that gives a good overview of this. It gives some background information. It's not lengthy, and it's certainly not all-inclusive, but it's something for you to look at as a reference for you, just to kind of get us started. We'll be talking about the health and wellness industry quite a bit throughout the course and the program, but here's a nice overview for you. So essentially some highlights of this. Health and wellness industry is for lack of a better word, it's taking off. We're just launching into this. It has been moving along, increasing at a nice steady pace, probably for the last 25 years or so, but just more recently in the last probably 2 years, we've seen a sharp increase in folks who actually get it. By folks, I meaning the industry of employee wellness. So companies actually are now starting to realize that if my employees are more healthy and their well-being is greater, then they're going to be better employees. They're going to show up when they're supposed to show up, and when they actually show up, they're going to work. They're going to decrease healthcare costs. They're going to be happier. They stay with the company longer. So because of that, there's been this. It's nothing short of a boom in this. There's a lot of companies now saying, I want to do something because I see the value of it. So the demand for the industry growth is about 9% going forward, which is quite a significant number. And what that means is there's job opportunities around that. Why is this happening? It's because of the increased healthcare costs. Companies are actually incentivized now through the Affordable Care Act to do this type of thing. The incidence of chronic diseases is significantly increasing, as we'll talk about as we go through. And as I mentioned, companies are starting to see the light in what this can do for them as a corporation. So typical services around wellness, typical wellness services are the things you might think of as nutrition and fitness and stress management and health risk appraisals and that type of thing. But the thing that we're really going to key in on are the new ways of doing this. Okay, what's new for this? We're hopefully going to get you the skills that you need to be in this next era of what employee wellness, community wellness, health and wellness coaching really mean, and that's being part of the team to do chronic disease management, but also care coordination. But then probably more importantly is how do you get an individual to thrive in the environment in which they live, work, and spend their time? How do we launch them into the next era of health that is hopefully going to be fruitful living, where it's a high quality of life? So these are the skill sets that we're hopefully going to get to you, and that you will learn the knowledge, skills, values to do this type of care for another individual. So yes, it's the typical services, but it's much more than the typical services. So there's your overview. If you have any questions, certainly let me know. I'll be happy to answer your questions as you go through each of the modules. And so each week expect a video about like this in length, 15 minutes-ish or so. And I'll include some references for you so you can do more reading on it if you'd like. All right, until then, have a good one.